Welcome back to the Best English Podcast channel. Are you on a quest to learn English faster and more effectively? Well, you've tuned into the right place. In today's episode, we're diving deep into a game-changing method, using podcasts to accelerate your English learning journey. Forget boring grammar exercises and dusty textbooks. We've compiled a comprehensive 10-chapter guide, and in this episode, we'll be walking you through the highlights. Get ready to discover why podcasts are your secret weapon to fluency, how to find the perfect shows for your level, and practical techniques to make the most out of every listening session. Whether you're commuting, hitting the gym, or just relaxing at home, your downtime can become prime English learning time. So grab your headphones, get comfortable, and let's unlock the power of podcasts to help you master English. Let's get started with Chapter 1, Why Podcasts Are Your Secret Weapon for English Fluency. In today's fast-paced world, finding time for language learning can feel like another chore on an already overflowing to-do list. But what if learning could seamlessly integrate into your daily routine, turning mundane moments into productive study sessions? This is where the magic of podcasts comes in. Unlike traditional learning methods that often feel rigid and disconnected from real-world communication, podcasts offer a dynamic and engaging way to immerse yourself in the English language. Think about it. You can listen while you're commuting to work, exercising at the gym, preparing meals, or simply relaxing at home. This flexibility makes learning accessible and sustainable. But the benefits of podcasts go far beyond mere convenience. They provide exposure to natural, conversational English, the kind that native speakers actually use in their daily lives. You'll hear a variety of accents, speaking speeds, and intonations, training your ear to understand the nuances of spoken English. Forget the often stilted dialogues of textbooks. Podcasts offer authentic language in action. Moreover, podcasts cover an incredible range of topics, from news and current events to science, history, comedy, and personal stories. This vast selection allows you to choose content that genuinely interests you, making the learning process more enjoyable and motivating. When you're engaged with the subject matter, you're more likely to pay attention, absorb new vocabulary, and retain information. Podcasts make learning a pleasure, not a task. Chapter 2, Finding the Perfect Podcasts for Your Level. Embarking on your podcast learning journey starts with a crucial step: finding the right podcast for your current English proficiency level. Choosing podcasts that are too difficult can lead to frustration and demotivation, while those that are too easy might not offer enough of a challenge to help you grow. The sweet spot lies in finding content where you understand around 70 to 80% of what's being said. This allows you to grasp the main ideas while still encountering new vocabulary and grammatical structures. For beginners, look for podcasts specifically designed for English language learners. These often feature slower speaking speeds, simplified vocabulary, and clear explanations of basic grammar concepts. Some popular options include podcasts like Espresso English, The English We Speak, from the BBC, and various podcasts focusing on basic English stories or conversations. Intermediate learners can explore a wider range of options. Podcasts aimed at native speakers but covering topics you're already familiar with can be a great starting point. News podcasts like NPR News or BBC Newscast, lifestyle podcasts, or even some interview-based shows can be suitable. Pay attention to the speaker's speed and complexity of language. If you find yourself constantly reaching for a dictionary, it might be too challenging. Advanced learners have the most flexibility. You can delve into more complex and nuanced content, such as in-depth interviews, discussions on specialized topics, or even fictional podcasts. This is an excellent way to refine your listening comprehension, expand your vocabulary on specific subjects, and get accustomed to different speaking styles and regional accents. Consider podcasts like This American Life, TED Radio Hour, or podcasts related to your professional or personal interests. Don't be afraid to experiment. Sample a few episodes of different podcasts before committing. Most podcast platforms offer previews, allowing you to get a feel for the content and the speaker's style. Remember, the goal is to find podcasts that are both engaging and appropriately challenging for your level. Chapter 3. Active Listening. More than just hearing. Simply having a podcast playing in the background won't magically improve your English. To truly benefit from this learning tool, you need to practice active listening. This involves focusing your attention fully on the speaker and making a conscious effort to understand the message. It's about engaging with the audio, not just letting it wash over you. One effective active listening technique is to take notes while you listen. Jot down key vocabulary words, interesting phrases, or the main points of the discussion. This helps you stay focused and provides material to review later. Don't try to write down everything. Focus on the words or concepts you don't understand or that stand out to you. Another useful strategy is to try to predict what the speaker will say next. This engages your brain and helps you anticipate the flow of the conversation. If you're listening to a story, try to guess what will happen next. If it's an interview, think about what questions the interviewer might ask. Replaying sections is also crucial. If you miss something or don't quite understand a particular part, don't hesitate to go back and listen again. Pay attention to the pronunciation, intonation, and context to help you decipher the meaning. Some podcast apps even allow you to slow down the playback speed, which can be particularly helpful for beginners or when encountering fast speakers. Furthermore, ask yourself questions about the content. What is the main topic? What are the speaker's opinions? Do you agree or disagree with them? This internal dialogue helps you process the information and improves your comprehension skills. Remember, active listening transforms a passive activity into an active learning experience. Chapter 4. Expanding your vocabulary. Building your word arsenal. Podcasts are a goldmine of new vocabulary. As you listen, you'll inevitably encounter words and phrases you haven't heard before. The key is to actively engage with this new vocabulary and turn it into part of your own English lexicon. When you encounter an unfamiliar word, try to understand its meaning from the context. Pay attention to the words and sentences surrounding it. Can you infer the meaning based on the situation or the topic being discussed? This is a valuable skill that will help you understand English in real-world situations. If the context isn't enough, don't hesitate to use a dictionary or translation tool. Many podcast apps allow you to easily look up words, or you can use a separate app on your phone or computer. Note down the new word, its definition, and the sentence where you heard it. This provides context and helps you remember the meaning. Beyond simply understanding the definition, it's important to actively practice using new vocabulary. Try to incorporate the new words into your own conversations or writing. You can also create flashcards or use vocabulary learning apps to reinforce your understanding and retention. Repetition and active use are key to making new words stick. Consider keeping a vocabulary journal where you record new words, their definitions, and example sentences from the podcasts you listen to. Review this journal regularly to reinforce your learning. Remember, building a strong vocabulary is a gradual process, and podcasts offer a continuous stream of new words to discover and learn. Chapter 5. Mastering Pronunciation. Listen and imitate. One of the significant advantages of learning English with podcasts is the opportunity to hear native speakers pronounce words correctly. This is crucial for developing clear and natural-sounding pronunciation. Pay close attention to how the speakers pronounce individual words. Notice the stress patterns, the sounds of vowels and consonants, and how they link words together. Many English words have different pronunciations depending on the context or their position in a sentence. Listening to podcasts exposes you to these nuances. Try to imitate the speakers. You can do this silently in your head or even out loud when you're alone. Focus on mimicking their intonation, rhythm, and the way they pronounce specific sounds. This shadowing technique, where you repeat what you hear almost simultaneously, is a powerful way to improve your pronunciation. Don't be afraid to record yourself speaking and compare it to the podcast. This can help you identify areas where your pronunciation differs from native speakers. You might notice specific sounds or word endings that you need to work on. There are also podcasts specifically focused on English pronunciation. These often provide explanations of different sounds, common pronunciation mistakes, and exercises to help you improve. Incorporating such podcasts into your learning routine can provide targeted practice in this crucial area. Remember, clear pronunciation is essential for effective communication, and podcasts offer an invaluable resource for developing this skill. Chapter 6. Understanding Grammar Naturally, Learning Through Context. While dedicated grammar study has its place, learning through context can be a highly effective and natural way to improve your understanding of English grammar. Podcasts provide a rich environment for this type of learning. As you listen to native speakers communicate naturally, you'll unconsciously absorb grammatical patterns and structures. You'll hear how different tenses are used, how sentences are constructed, and how various parts of speech function together. This exposure helps you develop an intuitive understanding of English grammar without having to memorize endless rules. Pay attention to how speakers use verb tenses to talk about the past, present, and future. Notice the different ways they form questions and use conjunctions to connect ideas. By listening to a wide variety of podcasts, you'll encounter grammar in a multitude of contexts, making it easier to understand and remember. If you encounter a grammatical structure you're unsure about, make a note of it and try to find examples of its usage in other parts of the podcast or in other podcasts you listen to. You can also do a quick online search for explanations of that particular grammar point. Learning grammar through listening can be particularly helpful for understanding the nuances of English. For example, you might learn the subtle differences in meaning between similar verb tenses or how prepositions are used in different contexts. This type of implicit learning can lead to a deeper and more practical understanding of English grammar. Chapter 7. Immersing Yourself in Culture. Beyond Language. Learning a language is about more than just memorizing words and grammar rules. It's also about understanding the culture associated with that language. Podcasts offer a fantastic window into English-speaking cultures. By listening to podcasts produced in different English-speaking countries, you can gain insights into various cultural perspectives, customs, and social norms. You'll hear how people from different backgrounds talk about their lives, their interests, and their opinions. This exposure can broaden your understanding of the world and help you communicate more effectively with people from diverse backgrounds. Podcasts often discuss current events, historical topics, and social issues relevant to specific cultures. This can provide valuable context for understanding the language and how it's used in different situations. For example, listening to a news podcast from the UK can expose you to British perspectives on global events and introduce you to vocabulary and expressions commonly used in that region. Lifestyle podcasts can offer insights into everyday life, hobbies, and trends in English-speaking countries. Comedy podcasts can help you understand humor and cultural references. Even fictional podcasts can provide a glimpse into the values and beliefs prevalent in a particular culture. By actively listening to a variety of podcasts, you can immerse yourself in the rich tapestry of English-speaking cultures and deepen your overall language learning experience. Chapter 8. Making Podcasts a Daily Habit. Consistency is key. Like any skill, learning English requires consistent effort. Making podcasts a regular part of your daily routine is crucial for sustained progress. Even short, regular listening sessions can be more effective than infrequent, long ones. Find time slots in your day where you can easily incorporate podcast listening. This might be during your commute, while you're exercising, doing household chores, or even during a short break at work or school. The key is to identify periods when you can focus on listening without significant distractions. Set realistic goals for your podcast listening. Aim for a certain amount of time each day or a certain number of episodes per week. Start with something achievable and gradually increase your listening time as you become more comfortable. Make it enjoyable. Choose podcasts on topics that genuinely interest you. This will make it easier to stay motivated and look forward to your listening sessions. If you're enjoying the content, you're more likely to pay attention and absorb the language naturally. Don't get discouraged if you don't understand everything at first. Language learning is a journey, and there will be times when you find the content challenging. The important thing is to keep listening consistently and gradually your comprehension will improve. Think of each listening session as another step forward on your path to fluency. Chapter 9, Beyond Listening, Engaging Further with Podcasts. While simply listening to podcasts is beneficial, there are several ways you can engage further with the content to accelerate your learning. One effective method is to discuss the podcast content with others. If you know other English learners or native speakers, try talking about the topics covered in the podcasts you've listened to. This provides an opportunity to practice your speaking skills and use the new vocabulary and phrases you've learned. Another valuable activity is to write summaries of the podcast episodes. This helps you process the information, identify the main points, and practice your writing skills. You can also write down your thoughts and opinions on the topics discussed. Consider looking for transcripts of the podcasts you listen to. Reading along with the audio can help you understand the written form of words you might have misheard. It can also be helpful for identifying new vocabulary and grammatical structures. Many podcasts provide transcripts on their websites or through related resources. You can also use podcasts as a springboard for further research. If a topic discussed in a podcast sparks your interest, take the time to explore it in more detail through books, articles, or other online resources. This can deepen your understanding of the subject matter and expose you to even more English vocabulary and grammar. Chapter 10. Your journey to English fluency starts now. Congratulations! You've reached the final chapter of our guide to learning English quickly and effectively with podcasts. You now have a solid understanding of the many benefits podcasts offer, how to choose the right ones for your level, and various techniques to maximize your learning. Remember, consistency and engagement are key. Make podcast listening a regular part of your routine. Actively listen to the content, engage with new vocabulary, and don't be afraid to immerse yourself in the sounds and rhythms of the English language. The journey to fluency is a marathon, not a sprint, but with podcasts as your trusted companion, you'll find the path to be both enjoyable and rewarding. So, put on your headphones, choose a podcast that sparks your interest, and start listening your way to English fluency today. The team at Best English Podcast Channel is here to support you every step of the way. Happy listening. And that brings us to the end of our introduction to learning English quickly with podcasts. We hope this 10-chapter guide has shown you the incredible potential of this fantastic learning tool. Remember, whether you're a beginner just starting out or an advanced learner looking to fine-tune your skills, there's a podcast out there for you. The key takeaways are: find podcasts that match your level and interests, practice active listening techniques, engage with new vocabulary, pay attention to pronunciation and grammar in context, and most importantly, make listening a consistent part of your daily routine. Don't forget to explore ways to engage further with the content, like discussing episodes with others or even writing summaries. We truly believe that by incorporating podcasts into your English learning journey, you'll find it to be more enjoyable, accessible, and ultimately more effective. Thank you for tuning in to the Best English Podcast channel. We encourage you to check out our full 10-chapter article on our website for even more detailed tips and resources. Keep listening, keep learning, and keep improving your English.